We have a fishing TV show program we're working on, and there's a little bit of footage of it playing down there. There's a couple big red and black bumper stickers, because red and black is the two best colors of all time. So go ahead and get you one if you want it. Go Dogs, go Dogs. So, but I want to talk today about fishing a fluke. And some of y'all might know about it. Some of you might not. But a fluke is all it is a soft plastic jerkbait. That's all it is. And there's all kind of different variations. Every plastic company in the world makes their version of a fluke. But it's all it is a soft plastic jerkbait. And I'll throw it in the tank a little bit and see if we can get reaction. I'm sure these fish have seen probably every lure imaginable. But you see how you jerk? Oh, look at that fish. You see how he wants it? No. Can't eat that. But you see, what this bait does is it mimics a bait fish, a shad, really any type of fish. And if you think about it, that's what the majority of fish are eating on every day of their life, okay? Even days when they're not 40 boats on the water, you know what they're eating? Some sort of fish, you know, a brim, shad, anything they can get in the mouth. And that's what is so awesome about the largemouth bass. I mean, these are such predators. And if they can get it in their mouth, they're going to eat it. So, but the fluke is easy to work. I say there's no wrong way to fish a fluke. I fish mine on spinning tackle. Some guys fish theirs on bait casters. I'm more of a spinning type guy. I feel like I can control it better with that. It's a 6'8" pole. I like using a long pole, because you can throw it way out there and work it. And so when I cast this thing, a lot of times I just sort of flip it. And all you got to do is twitch that thing. And you see how it comes around? You can walk it slow. You can work it fast. And it comes up to the top of the water like that. And I sure hope one don't snag this thing. But you see how it kind of darts around? Got a pole in my way right there. But what it does is it darts all around. So what I like to call it is a combination of twitching it and working it. So I twerk it. I call it twerking. All right? That's how I'm going to say, right? So you twitch it and you work it, and it's the top of the water column, and you can let that thing drift all the way to the bottom of the water column, and so it covers all areas in between. And this old timer told me this top secret fishing knowledge one time, and I probably shouldn't tell you, but I'm going to go ahead and do it. He said that the fish, when you go fishing, you're going to be able to find them. They're going to be somewhere located between the bottom and the top. That's what he said right there. That's what he said. That's what the old timer told me, so you know it's the truth. So, but another good thing with a fluke is fishing with kids. Okay, we all want to take our kids fishing. You make great memories fishing with your kids. And of course you can throw a bobber out there and let them get it. But this is a bait when they start getting a little bit older. My son, Hunter Jack, he's right there. He's been fishing a fluke, and my little girl Presley fishing a fluke since they're about 4 years old, because, number one, there's only one hook on this thing. Okay? There's only one hook on there. And so when you have kids fishing, you know you need to watch out for hooks coming by your ears, right? Because the last thing you want is old Junior to put a treble hook in your ear. So one good thing about that is it's safety, really it is. But your kids are going to throw this fluke out there, and they're going to want something to do. So they can jerk it back, torque it, you know. But they're going to lose interest. They are. I mean, they're kids. And they're going to look, and there's a squirrel up in that tree eating a nut or something, you know. So they're going to forget. So that fluke is just going to be, you know, drifting down there, and it's just going to be going down. They're looking at that squirrel or whatever, and it's just falling, and they will hit that thing as it's falling. Okay? I can't see real good. I sure hope they don't hit that. And they will hit that as it's falling. And it can even get right there on the bottom, and they'll eat it again. Maybe a catfish, like my man Jonathan Hogan, his kind of fish, a little nasty catfish. But no, so for kids it's great because you can catch bass up top, you can catch catfish down bottom. I've caught brim on them, you know, brim that want to get real aggressive. I mean, you can catch crappie. So a fluke is a great bait. And what I do, I'm more of a small water fisherman. I don't fish a whole lot of big waters. I don't have one of these fancy boats they got over there. Well, I'd like to have one maybe one day. But anyway, so I fish a lot of farm ponds, a lot of small waters. And if I could only pick one bait to take with me, it would be the fluke here. It'd be the super fluke. Because it's so easy to take, it's so easy to work around the ponds. And if you're fishing the ponds, what you want to do is you're just walking the edges, okay? We're not in the boat, we're on the bank, okay? And you're going to fish down that side of the bank right there. And when you're done catching 15 or 16 bass, hopefully, instead of walking, you know, down like this, and maybe potentially scaring all those fish off that are there, what you need to do, and it may take a little bit longer, just make you a big loop and walk back here, and then come back up on the other side over there, because a lot of times those fish, when they get up shallow, and they see you walking, you know, they're going to scare off. They'll probably come back. I mean, it's just, I've found it in my experience, a lot of times you catch these fish easier if they hadn't seen you walking down the bank. So for small waters, it's great. And I was fortunate enough to be able to write an article for Georgia Outdoor News, GOM magazine, a couple years ago called The Almighty Fluke. And that's what I believe this fluke is. I call it almighty. But I got to interview some guys that are really, really good experts. I mean, they're not just some country hit, you know, with TV show. I mean, these guys earn money by fishing. And Louis Bartonfield's a guy that fishes up in Carter's Lake, up in North Georgia. It's probably one of the prettiest lakes in the state of Georgia. I know y'all folks here in Macon may not want to hear that. But Carter's Lake is beautiful. It's a long ways away from here. So, but it's deep water. It's in the spotted bass that's really taken over up there. But he fishes his flukes on a drop shot rig. And up on Lake Lanier, too, where I'm from, they fish on drop shots. And they will take and send this fluke. And a lot of times they use junior flukes, but they will, they'll just let it fall. Now, I'm not rigged up with a drop shot rig at all. But what it does is it gets that fluke right down to the bottom real quick. Because these deep water lakes, you got great graphics and sonar. Look at that thing work like that. That looks good. If I was a bass, I'd eat that up. But anyway, so Louis Bartonfield fishes on a drop shot. So you can send these flukes down low. And back over here, they make what they call a junior fluke, which is just a little bit smaller, because a lot of times the bait fish down deep are smaller. And so they'll send them down there on a drop shot. There's also a guy named Matt Driver who fishes Lake Altoona a lot. He's a big tournament angler. You're going to find his name at the top of the leaderboard up there, and he fishes a fluke. Well, some people call it a double fluke rig, but it's also known as a donkey rig. That's what you can call it. And donkey rig's a lot cooler to say than a double fluke rig. So, but what he takes is the donkey rig is it's a 3-part swivel. And so he ties a swivel into his line, and he ties a 4-foot-long leader on one side, ties his hook, and then he takes a 2-foot leader on the other side, ties another hook. And what that'll do, he'll swing it out there, and as he's twerking it back, those two flukes are crisscrossing. You know, they're acting all around it, and they're doing all kinds of stuff, sort of sashaying through there. You know, just back and forth. And he's had it, I've seen it with my own 2 eyes, where he's caught 2 on one cast. You know, similar to this craze of the Alabama rig that's going on right now. You know, it's just a big pot of bait fish swarming through there. But But yeah, so the double fluke rig is another way to fish the fluke. I mean, it's just a different type. Another way, you'll see down on that table, is called the scrounger. And the scrounger is a big lead head with a big plastic flap on it. And that scrounger gets it down and gives the bait a little bit different action. You can get it deeper and it gives it a tight wobble. And again, like I said, I'm a weightless fluke. This is my go-to bait in this spring time of year, because like you see, it can fall, but then you can jerk it and twist that thing all around. And it's just erratic action. A lot of times it looks like a dime bait fish. A lot of times it's just the reaction strike, because the bass is sitting there, and all of a sudden they see something that looks like it's dying, they're gonna go hammer it, they're gonna go eat it. So, but you can twerk it all back and forth. Another thing that I was going to talk about, and I'm not sure I said this, but the size of hook that I use. I use a 3/0, and they're down there too, I believe. I use Gum Gotcha 3/0 extra wide gap hook. The extra wide gap helps it become to the top of that fluke better than, like, say, a regular worm hook or anything like that. And then you can skin hook it, which means, and I don't have a hook on here because I don't hurt these fish. Put a hurt on them, I will, if they let me. But anyway, you skin hook it by putting that hook back in the top of that plastic there. And so it's better than weedless too, so you can bring it through lily pads. I fished Paradise PFA down in Tifton, down 75. There's a lot of lily pads, a lot of grass. And one of my favorite things to do is sling that fluke, and I'll bring it over the top of lily pads, and then I'll just sit it. I don't even touch it. You know, I tell a story, or I tell a joke or something, but I'm just basically killing time. A lot of times you can see the pads move, because something can see that there's something on top of that pad. And it's usually a big old largemouth that can suck it in. And so I'll just pull that fluke off, sometimes slowly, sometimes fast, and they hammer it. In the battle zone, because you got to get them out of those thick lily pads. We all know that can be a challenge. So I use a 3/0 extra wide gap hook. You can use, they have flukes over there now, they call them Macon. I mean, these are big old chokers. So obviously, if you use a big old fluke, you need a big old hook, right? So you can use a bigger hook. You can use a 5/4 hook, 5/0 hook. You just sort of match it with the type of plastic you got. Another thing is color. I throw a white super fluke probably more times than not. I think white is just one of your best all-around colors. And you think about it, most fish are white. You know, and you whip it up, the bass you whip it up out of them, most of them have white bellies. So white works across the board. But I have seen it before where just a little difference makes a big difference in your catch rate. And you'll see some flukes down there that have a chartreuse tail. They're white, but the tail of them is chartreuse. And I'm sad to say, there was one day down at Paradise PFA, me and my good buddy Buck, we're fishing the exact same fluke, exact same hook size, exact same line, everything's the same. And he's wearing them out and I'm not. And I'm getting ticked off, you know. And so I'm thinking, what's the difference? And he's hiding over there, you know, not showing me what he's doing. And what he's doing is he's taking a highlighter or a sharp, you know, a highlighter to paint the tail of them, because they make them like this now, but they usually not make them. You can do it yourself. And you still can do it yourself. And that's the only difference that he did. And for some reason, on that particular day, they were keyed into that more so than white, just plain white. So, but good natural colors, natural shad. There's another color called Arkansas Shiner that Food makes. But there's anything that you can get natural will do really well in about any pond or big lake that you want to catch fish in. So, but it's the Fluke, like I say, is a great bait. It's great for kids. It's easy to fish. There's no wrong way to fish the Fluke. It's I haven't tried it down this way yet, but it's like I say, it just mimics what they eat 99% of the time. on their normal diet, you know, because that's what they're doing, whether your bass fishing boat's out there or not. And so you can work it slow, you can work it fast, you can let it fall. I mean, it's really, I say the dummy buddy, but I don't want to call people dummies because y'all ain't dummies. But anyway, it's really no wrong way to fish a fluke. And so there's one more thing that I'm going to let you in on, and then I'm going to go down there to that table. And if you have any specific questions, I'll be more happy to answer them for you to the best of my ability. But sometimes, you know, I'm a cut up a little bit. That's what Country Fly Cletus, our fishing show, that should be on WFE this summer, World Fishing Network. We put the fun back in fishing. That's what we do. We fish a fluke a lot. And if they're not eating my fluke, I'll sometimes sing my fluke song to them. And I'm not a good singer. I'll just be first and foremost to tell you that. But sometimes if they're not eating it, I'll sing my fluke song. And I'm a big Georgia fan. You can't see it from my shirt here. You see right there? Georgia Bulldogs. So if you're not a Georgia Bulldog fan, I'm sorry. I'm talking highly about them right now. But the Georgia fight song, you know, go Georgia Bulldogs. I'm singing the Georgia fight song at Bass Pro Shop. But anyway, but that song, right? I'm sure even if you're not a Georgia fan, you've heard it because we scored a touchdown on the team. And we're singing it, the band's playing it, right? So if they're not eating my fluke, I sing the Flukey Flukey song to the beat of the Georgia fight song. And it's called Eat My Flukey Flukey. And you just eat my flukey flukey. You can sing it all day if you want. And sometimes it's helps. And sometimes it's not too. So, but it definitely passes the time. But as you can see, I'm high on the fluke. It's just a great bait to use. If you have any questions that you'd like to ask me down there at the table, I'm going to be down there in just a little bit. I thank you for looking at it. See that? Look at it. He wants it. Woo! They want it. So, but anyway, thank y'all for listening to me. God bless you, and come by and see me down there.